is in the Free Party?
Right, my name's JimBob. I am the unconventional leader and my original member of the Free Party.
Okay, and why did you start it and when?
Jim, we started the Free Party back at the beginning of this year because a rather drunken guy in a club one day asked me to run again for Parliament because I ran as Bob in '97. And it was very enjoyable, and he was in the crowd, and he bumped into me in the new year and said, you've got to do it again. So it's not due by public demand, more a drunk guy in a club.
And how do you go about starting like your own party?
Well, basically there's a gang of us.
Get that question in there, like the way you go about starting a party is like kind of thing.
Right, the way you start a party, basically, these days you have to register the name of the political party. This is to stop people like running for as the literal Democrat. So you have to go to London and register your party name. You have to come up with a logo that doesn't what's the word? Can't get misconstrued. You have to come up with a logo that doesn't get misconstrued as anybody else's. You have to pay £170, and you have to have members of a committee like any other corporation.
Okay. And why? What made you choose the imagery of the Church of the Subgenius? And are you an ordained member of the Church of the Subgenius?
We use Bob, basically, Bob's been involved in my life the last 10 years around Brighton, and initially in '97 we thought it was a good situationist joke to put Bob up for Parliament, so it was all designed really for the night itself, and for the moment the Mayor has said, and Bob Dobbs X amount of votes, and we saw that being a funny situation, which it surely was. So, and Bob, because he doesn't represent anyone in particular, he's an omnipresent sort of person, so we thought it was a good gag.
Okay. How's that swing?
I'm swinging, I can't stop myself.
Are we alright? You shot? Is it still cool? Yeah. So, Church of Subgenius, I mean, what are their philosophies have you taken on board?
Well, the way I see the Church of Subgenius is a religion for the non-religious, and the way I see the Free Party is it's a political party for the non-political. So that's I would say, the association. The philosophies, we don't really plan anything, we just let things happen by the way they're supposed to happen. So that's the way I see Slack and the whole philosophy of the Subgenius. It's letting things happen in a natural way, and the Free Party is a very organic organisation. It has no strict plans. We just end up doing what we end up doing. So
okay. So how did you plan the campaign, and how did you organise all the different events that you had running up to the election?
Well, basically we got together there's a hardcore of say 8 of us, and
Plan the campaign.
How do you plan a campaign? Well, the initial thing when you do a campaign is you've got to get money together. It costs £500 for an individual to stand. So, and then I can hear that phone going.
I'll sort it out.
Oh right, yeah.
If we start maybe at the top of the question.
Yeah. Okay. So rewind. So let's start. Yeah. How do you plan the campaign? What did you organise for up to? We need to get like here, like we did the events you organised as well.
Right.
As well. Like, so we did something at the Concord. We did this here at the Ocean Room. That kind of stuff. All the stuff that you organised up until then.
Right.
That's seagulls. It is seagulls.
Seagulls.
That kind of nice.
You're really over.
Okay, we're right.
Yeah, just unplug the phone.
Oh, yeah, that's better idea,
Okay, the seagulls have stopped.
Okay, so from the top, I'll ask the question again. So, like, how do you plan the campaign, and like, what kind of events did you plan on the run-up to the election as well?
How do you plan a campaign? Well, the initial thing when you do a campaign is you've got to get money together. It costs £500 for an individual to stand. So, and then I can hear that phone going.
I'll sort it out.
Oh right, yeah.
If we start maybe at the top of the question.
Yeah. Okay. So rewind. So let's start. Yeah. How do you plan the campaign? What did you organise for up to? We need to get like here, like we did the events you organised as well.
Right.
As well. Like, so we did something at the Concord. We did this here at the Ocean Room. That kind of stuff. All the stuff that you organised up until then.
Right.
That's
Seagulls? Or
seagulls. It is seagulls.
Seagulls.
Pigeons, that kind of nice.
You'd really hope
Way
not.
too long.
Okay, we're right.
Yeah, I've just unplugged the phone.
Oh, yeah, that's a better idea. Yeah.
So what
Okay,
did
the seagulls have stopped.
Okay, so from the top, I'll ask the question again. So, like, how do you plan the campaign, and like, what kind of events did you plan on the run-up to the election as well?
Right. The campaign sort of was a 10-week campaign, starting with a couple of low-key clubs, just to get the sort of hardcore group of people involved. We had a major launch at the Concord a month before the election with Fatboy Slim, and then we organised things mainly for the election night itself. That was the day you have to sort of build it up so the vibe sort of peaks on the election day. You don't want to peak too soon because then it sort of loses it. So you have to be sort of build the campaign up slowly and surely. So by election night it was coming to boil.
Any specific events that you arranged that you're particularly like fond of yourself, like a football match or any of that kind of stuff?
The two bus journeys around London with Calcutta and around Brighton on the day of the election were hilarious. They're great. You can seem to get away with anything when you're campaigning as a political party. I think my one disappointment was that no one actually got arrested, but I don't know if it's possible to get arrested because you can just say we are campaigning and you can do anything you like. It's great.
So, is there anything particularly you felt worked on the campaign, and anything that didn't work and you might do again differently next time?
My favourite part of the campaign that worked much better than we thought it would was some people who I can't possibly say their names put Bob's heads on advertising boards around town. People started doing a game where collect the Bob basically, and you had to sort of name the different sites, and the feedback from those was great because they didn't say anything. They were just Bob's face, and they were funny. They're subverting the advertising boards, which people like as well. And it was like you could share the in-joke. And then when the election night came and everyone saw the Bob face on the ballot paper, then you can see a few people making the connection, which was good. It's good.
Anything you do differently?
Anything I do differently? I wouldn't say no.
Perfect campaign.
Yeah, it was a perfect campaign. Yeah.
Okay. So back to actually the fact that you won. How do you feel about the result, considering it was like a 300% increase to your result the last time you ran?
Mixed feelings on the result, funnily enough, because if you asked me at the beginning of the campaign, I would have been chuffed with 409. Very difficult to get people out to vote. A lot of friends who aren't either registered to vote or just the sheer apathy to get people out there. So on that angle, I'm very pleased with 409. But as the campaign went on, suddenly there was this sort of feeling inside that, oh my God, everyone I'm meeting is voting for me. So 409 was mixed feelings. One, it was like, yeah, it's a 300% increase, but the other one was like, oh, I thought I was going to get 1,000. Or we thought there's a chance we could get our money back. We needed 2% of the vote and we got 1. So next time.
So we noticed on the night that you were a bit late. You want to explain that?
I would say late. I would say it was absolutely perfect timing. Another 10 seconds and I would have been late. We were still in the club enjoying ourselves, and I think somebody got a text message through saying my result wasn't until 3. Thinking about it, I reckon that was David left. So, subterfuge there, because we then thought, oh well, I better go along there just in case. And just as I got into the Brighton Centre, I heard the result getting announced in the back room. And it was a sheer matter of just running up and joining the other candidates at the end of the queue that I managed to get on the stage.
And
so.
And how did it feel standing on the stage?
It was bizarre because last time it was full of Bob fans, and this time there was like 2 people tittering and cheering. But it was great. It was great because this time there was more of the campaign was an enjoyable thing. So the big payoff at the end, it was great that Simon and Dave stood to get that effect. But for myself, it was. Yeah, very surreal.
Okay, let's see. Let's hold with me here. So what kind of like feedback and correspondence have you had from supporters, letters and such like?
Feedback, well, I think it's like Marmite. People either love it or hate it. And we've had a lot of positive feedback from the people involved. It's very empowering. It's sort of... you play the politicians at their own game. They like to think they're your lords and masters, whereas you're on equal measure with them, and it is a very empowering experience. So there's been a lot of laughing and a lot of enjoyment from friends and acquaintances, and we've had people in town sort of stop us and thank us and enjoyed it, and then other people think we're a bunch of cunts.
So, yeah, sure. So, I saw some letters earlier on. You've had some odd correspondence. You want to tell us a bit about that?
When we first started with the Bob, we had quite a few letters come to the shop, and because we've really been dormant in the last 3 years since X Day, which is a whole other story. But at the start, we got letters from all manner of people, very bizarre, some very unsettling. But Bob does attract the crazies, which is probably why I attracted me in the first place as well. So you've got to expect it.
Excellent. Okay, let's see what else have we got here. Back to, sorry, I should have asked this one before. Back to the fact that you've got an increase of 300%. Why? Why do you think you've got an increase in voters this time?
This campaign was a lot more, well, it was a campaign, whereas, say, last time it was really just, we didn't do any campaigning and it was just designed for the night. This time we actually went out there with a manifesto, amazingly enough, and did more of a campaign. And with the Night of the Concord being a really very positive night, that really just gave us a kick-start. That got people talking about us and got people more motivated. So I think that's why we got more votes this time.
Do you think it's anything to do with the apathy of voters against the other parties?
Yeah, the protest vote, yeah, but I think looking at our results, and especially in my ward, the Green Party got, it's their flagship ward, so they attracted, I think, more the people who didn't want to vote for the main parties. Whereas I think this time people who voted for us, the vast majority knew exactly who they were voting for, rather than just targeting somebody who wasn't one of the above.
Got you, right. And how did you manage to get Norman Cook and Colcott on board?
Norman Cook, when we first started doing parties back in 92, 93, he used to be around, and he wore on the night a Bob shirt I printed 8 years ago, and so absolutely chuffed to see that. So he's obviously been a supporter from day one, pretty much. And Colcott, I know, have been into Bob for however long it's been around. They did an album of Bob cuts and remixes years ago, so we knew they were supporters. So that's great.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the collaboration between the Free Party and